Classic engineering diagrams include basic boxes, lines, and labels. GENESYS enhances communication with diverse stakeholders with richer representation options. Nodes represent entities on a diagram. Their representation is defined by node templates. This can be basic, displaying information as simple as just the name of the entity. It can also be as rich as you desire, displaying more information such as the entity's number, allocation, parameters, part role, and more. Node templates in GENESYS apply to specific nodes based on your settings in the preferences of GENESYS or based on your settings in the toolbox of the diagram. Node templates are created in the context of the project using the schema of that project. Let's start with how you can set them project-wide. First, click on the GENESYS icon in the top left to open the application menu. From there, click Preferences. When this dialog opens, you'll notice that you have a number of sections on the left. Node templates are set per diagram type. Since we are working with an EFFBD, I'll select FFBD and EFFBD. After selecting the specific diagram's preferences, you will see the settings displayed on the right. These settings control how the diagram looks when you open it. You'll notice that under the different node types, node, item node, and resource node, that there is a drop-down next to the template setting. This is where you set the node template for the different types of nodes on the selected diagram. We have a number of node templates available by default for uses in many different scenarios. To change the node template for a specific node type on a diagram, select the drop-down and then choose the template you would like to use. Note, if you have the diagram open when setting these preferences, you will need to close or exit the diagram and reopen it to have the changes update. Also, any changes that were previously made on a diagram will not be affected by changing the project preferences. I'll close my diagram and then reopen it so that you can see the change take hold that I made in the preferences. Node templates can also be controlled from the Properties tab of the Diagram toolbox on the diagram itself. With nothing selected on the diagram, you will see most of the same options here as you saw in the GENESYS preferences. What makes the selections here different is that they override the settings in the preferences and they only affect this diagram. That enables you to have default settings through the preferences while also having diagram-specific node templates for different entities in your model. Another thing about the Properties tab is that the update is live, so you will not need to close or reopen the diagram to have those changes take place. You can create and edit node templates. Please note that the default node templates are marked Essential and are therefore unable to be deleted or edited. However, these essential node templates can be duplicated and then used as a starting point for creating your own templates. To create a node template, you can select the Data tab from the ribbon in GENESYS and then click New Node Template. Enter a name, and when you click OK, you will be taken to the Node Template section under Utilities. Another way is to expand the Utilities section in the Project Explorer and select Node Templates. A list of existing node templates is presented in the browser pane. Type the name of your node template in the empty box at the top of the browser pane and then click Create. Or you can double-click the Node Templates selection in the Project Explorer. All edits to your created node templates are done in this part of the Project Explorer. Here you can see a new node template that I have created. The default entry for a new node template is simply the name. Let's add more information to this new node template. With the newly created template selected, you will see a number of options on the right. The Name section at the top displays the name of your node template. The Multi-Object Separator drop-down selects what type of separator to use for a node when multiple entities are shown in a single node. The Insert button allows you to insert a new field for your node template. It will insert the new field below the currently selected entry. The Remove button will remove the selected field from the node template. The two arrows on the right-hand side allow you to move your entries up and down so that they can be displayed in a different order. Newly created node templates start with one entry. Let's add some entries to create a new template. I'll leave the first entry as is. Notice that Entity attribute is selected with a specification of name. This will display the entity's name. Next, I'll add a separator. Separators create partitions between different parts of the node that display different information. You have a few options for the display of your separator, and I'll just choose solid line. From here, we will add another entry below the separator. The options available are class property, class name, class alias, etc., entity, the entity name, entity attribute, any defined attribute for the entity, entity parameter, all parameters defined for the entity, entity property, entity modification date, relationship, separator, and text. I'll choose relationship, and then after I do, I'll set the specification to built from. You'll notice that when selecting relationships, you have an option to hide them next to the specification. You can also include relationship attributes by clicking the drop-down in the Relationship Attributes column. At times, you might want to show the relationship attribute value without showing the relation target. The rest of the options here are available for all entries. You can add a prefix, a suffix, set the alignment, and even choose how many lines of extra space is filled in the node. On the right, you'll notice an option to fill space. I'll select this, but when this is unchecked, the field will take up the number of lines entered in the template. With this option checked, the field will expand to fill the space in the node. You can have more than one field marked as fill space, and they will share the extra lines. With my basic selections, I'll switch over to a component in my model. From here, I'll go ahead and apply the node template from the Properties tab of the toolbox. Now that it has been applied, you can see the node template applying to the selected nodes on the diagram. Node templates are a great way to tailor your experience in Genesys and also to convey specific information to specific team members, stakeholders, and anyone else involved with your project. For more information and resources on Genesys, please visit our website or contact our support team.